This journey started in the 60s, and I have fished from Alaska to Florida, hunted the Arctic for caribou, and combed the coastlines of Kodiak and the Aleutian Islands in search of meaning and purpose. These excursions exemplify a deeper understanding of success beyond that of just catching fish or bagging big game. They are about the chase and learning who you are. They are about exploring, appreciating, and respecting the vast expanses of our nation's forests, lakes, streams, rivers, and oceans, and finding our place in the universe. My name is Gene Quinney. These are my stories, this is my life, and these are my adventures. I got up this morning, decided I am not gonna hit the cowlets. I have a surprise for you. I am gonna hit a local lake and try to catch some trout. These are old glass fly rods, Eagle Claw. They've been around forever. This one here is my wife's, so I'm gonna use hers. I'm gonna take that John boat, that little 12-foot, 10-foot John boat that I've had since I was a kid. And when we get out to the shop, yeah, you'll see that because you've seen it in other videos. But that is the boat that I used to use when my dad used to take me out when I was a kid. So that thing is 60 years old. Almost as old as me. Let me grab the truck and we'll get this thing loaded up in the back. We'll just get one going. Okay, so we have one going over the top, one going around the back to hold it in, and the door should close. I wanted to travel light and take very little gear, but it always seems like I need so much stuff, which I probably really don't even need. But anyway, I like to be over prepared. Out of here. I'm just gonna troll a dry fly on the surface, and sometimes the wind can mess that up, that type of presentation, but we're gonna find out. So it's about a 15-minute drive from my place down here, so let's get going. Let's see if they have some worms. Hello there. Hello. You guys have worms? No. No worms? We're all out. All out, okay. All right, thank you. You don't want to try to rob any stores down here. She was packing, looked like a .38 revolver. Hard to tell though, it was a revolver. All the stores down here, these people are packing. Okay. Oh. This is a local lake in Lewis County. It's called Carlisle Lake. It used to be called, I think, on Alaska Mill Pond, because it used to be the pond for the lumber mill that was here. It's about 22 acres. And it has a net pen. They have pens over here where they raise trout. It's open year-round, and there's a lot of bank fishing access here. You can walk almost all the way around. There's a trail that goes all the way around the lake. The last time I was on this lake was, my granddaughters, me and Kim, my wife, brought our two oldest granddaughters here to do a little bit of trout fishing on that end, and I think that was, they're in college now. So gosh, that was a long time ago. Oh my goodness. But yeah, this lake here has it has crappie in it. Obviously it has rainbow trout, and it has landlocked coho. So let's get this boat unloaded. Let's get this boat unloaded and see if we can try to catch something. Well, it didn't move anywhere. Lashed her down good enough, apparently. Since we had a little bit of rain, set the alarm. Almost need my glasses to see this little guy. So what I've got here is this little guy right there. No, can you see it? Swing her around. No leaks. I think we're good to go. There we go. Whew. Man, not a lot of room in this little guy. I think I might be a little bit bigger than I was 30 years ago. But we're not taking on any water that I'm aware of. Still looks good. All right, a little wobbly. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. It's already fun. My fly rod's already set up, ready to go. And I don't see why I can't move this net, make things a little more. And you know what's ironic about this? My dad, when he wasn't fishing with me, this is where he would come. I forgot all about that. This is where he would come to kind of just chill by the bank and, you know, and fish and relax. Put my hoodie on. Try to stay a little bit dry anyway. Okay. Don't want to cover up my moneymaker here. Oh man. Okay, I'm just gonna start right here. Like I said, I've got this little tiny dry fly on here, and we're not gonna do any casting. I'm just gonna feed it out. And you know what the funny thing about this, you know, this kind of fishing is, I remember when I was a kid, you know, you remember certain things. I don't remember all the details, but what I remember is the sound that the rod would make when you had it out to the side like this. You know, you'd have the rod out to the side, and then when a fish would hit, how the rod would slide along the gunnel of the aluminum boat and make that, you know, echoing kind of aluminum sound. That's what sticks in my mind. Weird. Okay. We're just gonna feed out the line like this. And just troll really slow. Try to stay out of the weeds if we can. It's so quiet and peaceful out here, it's amazing. This is a great place to bring the family, bring the kids. It's a fun summer getaway, little adventure, you know, not too far from town here. Because you can, if you know, can see there's picnic tables along the edge, lots of places, ducks flying in everywhere. Lots of places for bank fishing for people to fish. Yeah. A lot of debris floating on the surface right now. Some people will comment on my videos and say things like, I talk too much. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. What are you supposed to do when you're out here by yourself making a video fishing? You talk to yourself. And what's funny about that is my dad, he used to tell me that he talked to himself because it was the only way for him to carry on an intelligent conversation. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier that like Swafford Pond, internal combustion engines are prohibited on this lake. You can't even have them on your boat. And that's what makes these little lakes, you know, so quiet and peaceful too. Oh yeah, okay. So let's go with, I'm gonna go with this black. Looks like about a number 14 mosquito. Do I want to go with the dark one? I think I'm gonna go with the lighter one. Let's go with this little guy right here. Right there. I need eyes in the back of my head. Feed out some more line. Maybe 10 feet or so. Last time I was on this boat when my son was young, and he he was little. He was like, 11, 12, 10, 12, something like that. And we were on Capowson bass fishing, and we got caught in the middle of a wind and rain storm, and it really got bad. So I had an old Sears and Roebuck, a little tiny Sears and Roebuck, like 3 horsepower electric trolling motor on the back with the battery. And so in order to get back against the wind, because we were way on the other side of the lake, Capowson's a big lake. We were way on the other side of the lake, and we had to go into the wind to get back to the truck, to the boat launch. And he was in the back of the boat on the motor, full speed, and I was on these oars right here, rowing like crazy. And the wind was slapping the rain, and it was so treacherous, but it was funny. So we were both cracking up because it was so harrowing. Oh man, that was really a fun trip. And we didn't catch anything, and we got caught in that storm, got soaking wet, and almost died. But man, what a memory. I wonder if he remembers that the same way I do. Now I make my own tapered leaders using the double uni knot. Like this leader here is most likely, and the way I tie these, it's most likely 12 down to 10, 8 to 4 pound test, all tied with the double uni knot. Now I can see why the ducks like it here. Then we have an inlet here. I think I picked the perfect time of the year to come, though, even though I might not catch a fish. The tranquility is amazing. All I can hear is geese and ducks. Must have been a weed. Feed this out. Pull that line out of there. Let me put the brakes on. I'm going to drag the boat home with me. That way the next time I get a hankering to do some fishing, I can fish a couple of the local lakes. There's a couple of them that I haven't, just like this one here, that I just haven't fished in years. Just so, accustomed to fishing the river or fishing the ocean. I'll tell you, I prefer, steelhead are good. I like eating steelhead. I like catching steelhead. But when it comes to quality of fish to eat, my favorite fish is a ocean caught salmon. Sockeye number 1, king number 2, Chinook, and then a coho. But they all run a really close first. But then after, and what I like to do is I like to make sure my freezer is full of salmon before I go anywhere else. So my number 1 fish is salmon. My number 2 fish, believe it or not, is a tie between either the sablefish, which is the black cod, or the yellowtail cod. And the yellowtail are not like the black rockfish. it's a rockfish, but it's not like the black rockfish where they stay fixed in a certain location. They're a pelagic fish like a tuna, so they tend to stay in the column and move around. And I think that's why the meat is so tasty on those, is because they're not restricted to a diet of whatever is produced in that certain, you know, geographical location. Of course, that's just all speculation. I'm no expert. You know, it's just what I've, you know, perceived and what I've noticed and observed over the years. I think, no, it's still working. But, okay, so that's salmon number 1, yellowtail rockfish, and sablefish, black cod number 2. Number 3 is going to be lingcod for me, because I like lingcod. They're fun to catch. They're big, toothy, just, I hear geese, awesome fish. Fun to catch, plus they have a lot of flavor to them. Not as strong and not as fishy, you know, as a black rock cod, but has more flavor. And then, of course, there's halibut. Halibut's, I hear geese, halibut is way down on my list of fish to eat. I love catching them. They're a lot of fun. And the trip itself is fun because you're going 40, 50 miles offshore. You're fishing in 600 to 800 feet of water. You're using electric reels if you're smart. I get comments on that all the time from people that say I'm lazy, you know, for using electric reels. But let me tell you something. If you've never used an electric reel, and if you've never fished in 600 to 800 feet of water with 2 or 3 pounds of lead, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I've tried it before, and the first thing I did was, after I had tried it, was I went to an electric reel. Anyway, it doesn't detract any away from the excitement of the catch, but it does make it a lot easier, especially when you're moving and on the drift and pulling your lead up, you know, 6 or 7, 8 times a day or more. Oh, I got some weeds. Okay. So the halibut in my the halibut in my The halibut, in my opinion, are fun to catch. But they're down on my list of tasty fish to eat, simply because they don't have any flavor. They don't have any fishy flavor. A salmon has a distinct fishy, oily, you know, flavor. Rock cod have a distinct fishy rock cod flavor. Lingcod, you know, the black cod, all those cod, you know, and all those fish, salmon and steelhead, you know, they all have a distinct flavor. But the halibut, there's no taste to it. So, and although they're good to eat because you can flavor it up to with whatever you want, the fish itself doesn't have much flavor, if any. That's why halibut, as far as an eating, you know, as far as eating them, is way down on the list. The only trout that I will eat, that I don't mind eating, is trout that comes from the river, or a river. So it's got to be either a cutthroat, you know, a sea run cutthroat, or a rainbow that's from the river, because I think it has a lot to do with the what they eat and the temperature of the water. It seems like trout from a lake are just, they kind of taste like mud, and so I don't mind catching them. I like catching them, but I don't like eating them. There we go. Looks like I got more weeds right there. More weeds than I know what to do with here. This would be a perfect time to take a little break and eat something. I'm getting hungry. But like a big dummy, I didn't bring any food with me. Does anybody know what that's from? Big dummy? My dad used to call his son Big Dummy all the time. That was back when it wasn't offensive to offend somebody or to talk to somebody that way. Did you guess it? Yeah, Sanford and Son. Fred Sanford always called Lamont Big Dummy. Those were the days, you know, when you could have a show that actually made fun of people without somebody getting offended. All in the Family. Archie Bunker and Edith, and, you know, Meathead Mike, Gloria. Then you have oh, what show came after that? The spin-off of All in the Family was the Jeffersons. Yeah. The Jeffersons, they were black and they made fun of white people. You know, the Bunkers were white and they made fun of black people. Back when it was okay to make fun of people without offending them. I mean, I'll be the first person to laugh at an Asian joke that they can't drive. Talk funny, stuff like that. It's funny. Of course, I'm only half Asian, So it's only half funny. So the gentleman that was watched my last video and said I talk too much, not enough fish and too much talking, he's really going to be pulling his hair out when it comes to this one. What I tend to forget is that not everybody watches all the videos, and not everybody watches all the videos, you know, the full length. And so I need to repeat myself more often for the people that don't, you know, watch a lot of the videos in their entirety. And I'll say it now, as I've said before, I'm not an expert fisherman. I'm just a guy who likes to fish. I've fished all over the place for all kinds of different species. And I've been fishing for a long time. I don't claim to be an expert. Sometimes I'll go fishing and I'll catch fish, and sometimes I won't. But to me, fishing is not about catching fish. Fishing is about the experience of being in the outdoors. I can be out here for hours and my mind will wander back to all the times that I fished in the past with my kids, with my grandkids, with my dad, with my fishing buddies, and it's not like reliving the past, but it's like always being connected to the past. Because I think if we forget the past, then we don't have a clear route to the future, and we don't have a good grasp on the present. Because everything we did in our past is what made us who we are today. No fish. I don't plan on eating these suckers anyway. But this was a nice little excursion. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. There'll be more videos coming up. There'll be some exciting stuff. Some stuff you won't even be able to contain yourself. You'll be so excited. People are starting to get up now. More people around. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Peace, love, tight lines, and I'll see you on the water. If you liked this video, be sure to check out our other videos where you'll join us on the ocean catching kings and silver salmon, lakes catching kokanee trout and landlocked coho. We'll also be working our riverfront homestead and harvesting venison. Stay tuned for more fishing and hunting and outdoor adventure videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you get notifications of new uploads. Thank you for watching.